As it was mentioned, my name is Mukei. I'm one of the senior students at the Village Zendo, and also the co-leader of our People of Color Sitting Group. And as I was putting my talk together, I couldn't help but feel about the backdrop that's we've experienced these past couple of weeks, especially with the news of the murder of Tyree Nichols, the 29-year-old black man who was killed by 5 police officers who also happened to be black. And this morning, there's reports of mass shootings again in California. I think 3 or 4 people were killed. And then, of course, the shooting in Israel on International Holocaust Remembrance Day, where 7 people were killed. And the shooting took place the day after the killing of 9 Palestinians during the Israeli army. All of these, the backdrop of what we've been living with. And so I was thinking about the talk, and one of the things that stuck out for me was last Saturday we had our first Zazen Kai for the new year. And the service was beautiful, the opportunity to be together was great, and the talk was quite thoughtful and intimate. And as I was leaving to go home, I had this deep feeling of sadness, this deep feeling of profound loss, as if I had lost a dear friend or a very important animal, but something. And as I was experiencing this, I tried to figure out, where is this coming from? What is going on that is this? No one had said anything to me. There was nothing that had happened, but that's just feeling of deep, deep, deep loss. And the more I tried to figure it out, I came up with a blank. And I remembered something that Inki Oroshi told us in our early days of training. She said, when you go on a retreat or you come from a Zazen Kai, it doesn't take much to set you off. You can come back feeling wonderful, and then something happens, and then Krakatoa, anger. And, what do you do with it? And I began to think, is the feeling of peace to be something that we're supposed to, the goal of our sitting together? What is it we're supposed to feel? There's a story within our study text, the Sayings of Layman P'ang. The story is titled The 3 Views of Hard and Easy. The story goes as, one day while Layman was meditating in his sitting hut, he suddenly cried out, "It's hard, hard, hard. I've put on 10 coats of linseed oil, but this platform too." Mrs. Layman said, "It's easy, easy, easy. Just turn your eyes to the floor, lower your feet to it, and be on your way." Ling Chao, their daughter, said, "It's neither hard nor easy. The mind of the patriarchs is in every blade of grass." Like the layman, how many retreats, Zazen Kais, and periods of Zazen must I experience before I fill in the blank? I looked up the use of linseed oil. Besides its being used for medicinal purposes, it's used as a wood finish. It dries slowly, but a lead seed finish is easily scratched, and it doesn't prevent water exposure, so it can result in mildew on a piece of furniture. Putting on 10 coats of linseed oil does not give the desired experience. What is the desired experience? Perhaps it's peace, it's balance, it's control. After periods of Zazen, am I supposed to feel peace, balance, control? Or am I not supposed to feel sad, angry, and upset? But what if I do feel angry, sad, and upset? Does that mean the Zazen Kai, the retreat, was a failure? Or am I a failure? Mrs. Layman says, just turn your eyes to the floor, lower your feet to it, and be on your way. Dogen wrote, when you first approach the way, you remove yourself from its neighborhood. We all come to practice with the goal of getting something out of it. Improvement, power, peace, control. Practice is something we do, and we do by ourselves. This kind of thinking is deeply ingrained, and it is normal. But according to Reb Anderson, who is a Zen teacher on the West Coast and the author of Being Upright, he says, quote, when you approach Zen practice, you go away from it just by the fact you are approaching it, rather than realizing it on the spot. He goes on to say, we can't help it. We are looking to improve things. That's the way we see everything. Reb Anderson also refers to a text by Dogen called Zazen Shin. He says that there are two ways to understand the title Zazen Shin. Zazen is Zazen, and Shin means needle. Needle, which is a reference to bamboo needles that was used in the past for acupuncture. So, first, one way to understand Zazen Shin is that Zazen is a needle that we stick into our lives. It's the needle which we care for life. If the Zazen needle is put in the right place, we become tenderized, sensitive, and we are related to all beings. We realize we are deeply connected. Second, another way to understand Zazen Shin, that it's medicine, to treat our attempts to practice Zazen, misunderstandings and all. When we practice, we are in the need of treatment. Reading this maybe brought some clarity to my deep sense of loss. But Dogen goes on to say, Zazen is just like our lives, and our lives are like riding in a boat. You can't ride in a boat by yourself. You raise the sail, you sit up straight, you cross your legs, and you row with the oars. Although you row, the boat gives you a ride. Without the boat, no one can ride. What you're riding makes the boat what it is. That's mutuality. That's connection. Zazen is the way we care for our lives together. There's a story about a student who approached Suzuki Roshi and asked, why haven't you enlightened me yet? Suzuki Roshi responded, I'm making my best effort. Layman's daughter Ling Chao says, it's neither hard nor easy. The mind of the patriarchs is in every blade of grass. The text says that she was making reference to the teaching of a third patriarch, whose text was the treatise of believing in mind, that says the great way is expansive. Treading upon it is neither hard nor easy. Very little is known about the third patriarch. What we do know is that he lived through a time of political persecution of Buddhism, and that during this time he remained out of sight and just lived inconspicuously among the general population. It wasn't until after the persecutions had ended that he began to teach formally and had a huge following. But he gives us a gift, the third patriarch. The way does not end with a zazen kai or retreat. The patriarch, and I'd like to add the matriarchs, support us, support me, no matter the feelings or the situations that I'm in. It's easy to explain, but I do think it's a bit difficult to understand. So, where does that leave us? Is it hard or is it easy? Or do we tread on the leaves of grass with the support of the matriarchs and patriarchs? I'll leave you with a gift that I got on retreat from someone who's on this call. And you'll probably know the gift when I repeat it, and you can join with me if the words sound familiar. And it goes like this. You put your right foot in, you put your right foot out. Put your right foot in, and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey, and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Thank you.